Alright, welcome to episode 19 of History Rewritten. Last time, the thing failed, and I got really annoyed. And then I made a video about all the stuff that went wrong. So, yeah, explained all what happened. So I suppose you can watch that, but I am really annoyed that it was the episode where they went to Florida and started colonizing America. Why was it that one? Why did it be that one? So I'm a bit annoyed about that. There's not much I can do about it. So, yeah. However, hopefully today's video should compensate for the last video being rubbish, because today we've got what will be, hopefully, the biggest war that we've had so far. Everyone likes having a huge war, except for the people participating and being affected. You probably like watching the war. So we're going to get a few things over and done with, and then we'll do that. So those few things entail more colonization of Greenland. Of course, they're not going to go all the way into here because it's horrible. However, they will go around some of this water stuff because they can get there. So the Norwegians will take all that, and the Scottish will take all this. So, yeah, I mean, they're doing something with this stuff, but it's not really like the best land they could get. They don't know about the existence of Quebec and Canada, so they can't really go over there. People know about Florida, but they don't know how to get there. It's like there's a piece of land out here, but don't know how to get there. Anyway, we're continuing with more Florida colonization, so the Bretons will take all of this, and some more stuff around here. This is making them a lot more powerful because they get different types of wood, different types of meat, animal skins like sharks and crocodiles, I suppose. Although, it's not illegal at the moment, but it is now, so stop doing it. Yeah, don't kill the sharks. They're also going to take this random island in the Bahamas just as another colony. So there you go, a significantly bigger Florida colony. And we'll also do our Britain update. So we have the red team and the blue team declaring war on the green team. That being the East Anglia Lincolnshire one. So these countries decided to team up against this one, and they move in almost simultaneously, but the red one moves in a bit earlier. So they capture this major city quite quickly, and then go up towards the Humber River, and nearly get that. So they separated off this region. The blue country is going to come from the north, take lots of this coast, and then they'll close down this area. The red team is going to manage to capture the capital. This bit's going to get taken by the blue team, and then gradually the red team will separate all these areas and annex all this stuff. So now we've just got some really powerful, well, not really powerful because none of these guys are super strong, but it's the strongest British countries that survived. So that's pretty interesting. Anyway, yeah, the red team gets a majority of this land because they did the majority of the fighting in this war. However, the Scottish do still get some more stuff, and, this isn't the best land. So they're alright with it. We've got a lot of eastern coast already. So they're fine, just not getting that much of this. I think I also destroyed the Humber River. We're just gonna add that back in. Don't worry about it. But yeah, you can see there are some pretty strong countries in Britain at the moment. You've got the brown one and the Scottish one. They're already colonial powers. Wales and England, I suppose now. They're both quite strong. And then Brittany has arrived in America. So, yeah. Although the Bretons aren't native British. Which is the inverse to our timeline, like real life. Because of course, the Saxons came from Germany, and they scared away a load of dudes in England. And so a load of people from Cornwall went down to France, and then started Brittany, because they were Britons. So yeah, that's the basic history of Brittany. but there you go. I don't really think there's a huge lot else we need to do. Is there? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was wondering whether I did that last time. I didn't. India will finally make their way into... Well, this is Africa, actually. The Seychelles is African. However, they managed to capture these islands, and... you know, we could see them doing more stuff over in East Africa in the next episode as they become an even stronger country. So that's cool. I think it might be about... oh yeah, one more thing. Two more things. I'm not getting distracted at all, don't worry guys. I am completely laser focused on doing the big war. I'm not getting slightly distracted at all. Don't you worry. You will skip past this anyway, because it doesn't really matter. Alright, blue country expands slightly, the Egypt one, as well as Algeria. So they're going to take this random chunk of desert. So that's pretty fun. But yeah, there you go. So North Africa is slightly bigger. You know, areas that they've discovered around here, it's really not that much. They've gone like sand. But there are still a few people who are out there exploring the sand with camels and stuff. Because, like, what if there's a really cool thing in the middle of the sand? Like Lake Chad. They don't know about the existence of Lake Chad. And I don't think I'm going to make it worthwhile if they ever do find out about it. But yeah, anyway. So, time for the big war. Anyway, as you might have expected, this big war will be instigated by the purple team. Because they've recently been very aggressive and wanting to rebuild this huge, massive empire. Because, you know, they already have most of the Balkans, well, Dalmatia. And a few episodes ago, they attacked Catalonia. Was that last episode? I don't think so. And that's where they're going to go again. However, there are some problems with this, because Catalonia joined the Blue Team's alliance, the North African one. I'm really hoping that wasn't last episode when I did that, because, you know, it looks like I'm just waffling, because I completely forgot to talk about that, if it was last episode. I'm bad at misremembering stuff. Anyway, the Italians, as you can see, kind of surround these guys on the coast. It's not going to be easy for them. So the Italians launch an invasion from Majorca. This is Majorca. Into the Catalonian country. And it's not going to go well for the Catalonians. The Italians easily capture that city, and then expand further into the central areas of the country. They also make another invasion out from the French country, who lets people pass through, because they're pretty good friends. And then they manage to take the capital pretty easily. And it all just goes really badly for Catalonia from there, as another group, a rebel group this time, is going to pop up in Catalonia. And they're going to start helping the Italians. The Italians didn't even fund this. It just appeared by itself. It's a big old rebel group. So they're pretty alright with this, like, nice. And they let the rebel group govern over this area. However, Italy is now at war with all of this stuff. And that's not it. There's more countries to join. Also, I kind of forgot to mention, Italy's entire alliance is here as well. So just to refresh you on the alliances, before I go too far into the war for Catalonia, Italy is allied with the northern Greek country, the dark blue and the other weird colour Turkish countries, and Eritrea, this green one down here. Whilst the Blue Team Alliance was this Algeria, North Africa one, Libya and Egypt, as well as Catalonia, but they're kind of deceased now. However, a new country will be helping them out in this war, and that is of course the yellow country, who are just like, right, might be able to win this one. Doubt it though. At least not at the moment, as the Italians relatively easily managed to connect up with their exclave and take all of this stuff. They reach up towards here, and now they've separated a huge chunk of the yellow team off with the rest of it, and it's not looking good for the yellow team. The red Northern Greek country are also going to jump in, and although it's pretty tricky at the start, they do make some relatively good ground before connecting up with the Italians and capturing that major city. So yeah, it's going pretty well over here. The Islamic countries decided that even though they lost some land recently to the Italians, they're just going to stay out of it. Stay neutral in this. Which is a good idea, I'd say. Anyway, let's see how the rest of it goes. The Italians are going to have a hard time, however, trying to make a landing in the blue country. It's a lot of naval battles out here. They haven't quite made muskets. I did like 5 minutes of learning on the history of muskets just before I recorded this to see how they're made. It was the Spanish who invented muskets, but then muskets weren't the first gun things because they had something else beginning with an A. It was like an Arequipa or something. So I don't know how you make gunpowder either. My knowledge of gunpowder is like creeper. Creepers make gunpowder. So yeah, it's not amazing, but it's something like that. However, after doing quite a lot of battles with the blue team, the Italians will manage to make one landing down here between these major cities. However, it's repelled relatively quickly, and they make further ones up in the north, but there's a lot of people out here farming camels and stuff. So it's quite tricky to fend these guys off. So that's annoying. However, it's pretty successful out here in this area, as the red country manages to take another major city, and we now even see this Istanbul nation joining in on the war on the side of the purple team, as they don't like the yellow team very much. They didn't used to hate them that much, but recently they've really started hating them a lot. So they're going to take lots of this land and move in towards some major stuff, like the capital, which is right in the middle of the country, which I think they actually put it there, so then it's going to be hard for people to get the capital, which is a good idea because otherwise they would have already collapsed. However, it doesn't look like it's going to be that long until they do, so that's not good. Anyhow, eventually the Italians make a landing instead in the Libyan country, but they're repelled after a lot of forces were used. But this leaves an opening in the blue country, as the Italians make a landing from Majorca once again, sending troops from there in the northern coast of the blue team, and this time it's successful. They capture some important fort or something. They fortify the fortress and use that to defend their position. There's a few major cities out here, and after some really intense fighting, a lot of back and forth, they managed to capture this major city, and now the Italians are pretty firmly inside of the blue country. So that's not good if you're a member of the blue country. The Italians make a second landing down here in the south, and it is not looking good at all. So this appears, and unfortunately their normal tactic of separating different areas within the country, so then they can't be funded and supplied and stuff, isn't really going to work. They go south a bit, and then it's a load of desert, so they're really not that motivated to go and separate this area, because there's going to be a lot of supplies wasted, water and stuff. I think the Bretons are probably supplying a lot of water, because you've got all those aquifers in Florida, but I don't think the Italians really thought about monopolizing on the water trade or something, just buying all the water trade stocks. However, they managed to capture this major city, and the blue team is feeling very threatened at the moment. This area around here is slightly better, so they managed to move through this desert a bit easier, and they even make their way towards this lake. So currently, yeah, the blue team is feeling very threatened. if we look back over to the yellow team, they have managed to climb up to here, and this major city has been captured. So that's not good. However, there is one good thing happening for the blue team, and that is that Ethiopia has decided to join this war. I did mention in an earlier episode that, you know, they were in relatively good terms with the North Africans. So that has prompted these guys to join the war on the side of the North African country in hopes of just grabbing up some extra land from Eritrea. So they begin their push around the Djibouti area. However, they fended off pretty well from the capital bit, so they don't manage to make any more gains. So that's unfortunate. However, Eritrea does lose a bit of land in the south, so right down here. They have received some supplies from Italy though, even though they're expected to be entirely irrelevant from this war, so yeah, that's why there's not a whole lot of stuff. I am confused. What colour was Eritrea? They were this. What is that? Is it this? I'm worried I might need that. Ah, I have it now. Oh, flip. What did I do? It's fine, don't worry. I'm sure it was nothing bad. Anyway, so Ethiopia's managed to make some gains in the south, and they managed to climb along the Eritrean border. However, you know, it's not going great. The Indians do a reasonably good trade with the Ethiopians. However, they're not really selling arms that much, they're more selling spices and other stuff. So, it's not like they're getting loads of weapons from Ethiopia, or from India. And India's more exporting, and Ethiopia's importing goods from India. So they're not really exporting loads of things to Ethiopia, to India. So it's not like trading with India is giving them a huge profit. It's more like they're trading with India to get necessities and stuff. So although it is making them money, of course, but you kind of get what I'm saying. Maybe not. I don't know, I'm waffling in a way. Anyway, yeah, so they will manage to finally, after a few months, possibly a year or something, get around this Djibouti area and capture a lot of the southern regions of the country. And now the Ethiopians are feeling fairly worried. However, Italy's not going to send anything to these guys because they don't want to go through any of these countries. And also, if they did, the blue team might just destroy their boats. You know, there's no Suez Canal, so you'd have to take stuff by land, which takes a very long time. So Ethiopia is winning this war finally, after India gave them some weapons. And yet, they've used the good old Italian tactic of separating the country. They take this major city, and then continue along the coast. You know, they now control the entire Gulf of Aden. Well, not all of it. And they stranded the capital of this country. You know, the yellow team in Sudan is just gonna jump in on this. They're not really joining the war, they're just gonna sidle in and grab some of that. This is captured, and finally the capital region goes down. So Italy has lost their best ally, of course. Yeah. Although they've got this Istanbul nation who's a lot better than the other one. Even the dark blue country is going to join this war to grab up some land from the yellow team. So they move down a bit. You see Istanbul move in, the red team moves in, the purple team moves in. And if you don't really remember, yeah, the capital of the yellow country is very new. It's not fortified like all these other old cities that people have. So it's not that hard to take down, and finally the yellow team has been fully captured. And this is looking good so far for the Italians. However, the tables can turn, you know, but they're not turning at the moment. Their tables are very stable. What am I talking about? Anyway, Italy manages to capture the rest of this lake, and they separate this stuff up, and they have naval supremacy over this area, which means it's not good. Basically just means not good. A few of these provinces are actually going to decide to join the Moroccan country, which, you know, the blue team and the Moroccan country don't hate each other, so the blue team's kind of just like, meh, it's alright. They didn't even lose a major city or anything, so it's not that bad. But now I have to find the Moroccan country's colours, so that's a shame. 87 for red, 125, and 96. You see, I made a few nations by like making up these random colours and stuff. However, that takes a while to do. It's much easier just remembering a number for customization of a colour. So, yeah. Morocco is slightly bigger. They're not really any stronger though. So, what would be the strongest country in the world if this is like modern times and they occupied this stuff? Probably the Chinese countries, actually. Brittany would be way up there. England, France, Italy would be really strong. The red team would be pretty strong. Though I don't know if they have Riyadh. Eastern European sludge nation thing. One of the Iberian nations, maybe. I mean, Algeria wouldn't be that weak. Oh yeah, I forgot about India. Yeah, India's, you know, pretty strong. They also have all of Singapore and load of Malaysia. So, yeah, that's some relatively good stuff. Italians are going to make a new offensive this way, which causes them to lose some captured lands in the east, west. I know my direction. This bit. However, they managed to maintain some of the desert because they can't be bothered to go down there until they do lose it, because these guys are better at desert fighting. But this is so they can meet up on the border of the Libyan country, and now they're going to be attacking them a lot. So finally they make their way into Libya, and right on the border of the blue team is a major city. So they capture that really easily, and they're making their way now towards the next major city in Libya, which they capture pretty well. However, there's a huge distance here between the two major cities, so there's lots of fighting and stalemates and stuff. The Libyans are naturally better at fighting in the desert, so they manage to go around the Italian army and just provide some annoyance. However, every day the Italians gain slightly more ground, so it's not looking good. They get closer to this major city until they finally capture this one, and then they connect up that stuff. They go along the northern coast until this city, an area, decides to cede itself away to Morocco. And the Italians kind of like, damn, Morocco, we can't get you next. When they finish with this war, can we get you next? And Granada's like, I fully support this decision, I'll help you. But not yet. So, it's not looking good. I just said the German word for sister, which is funny. So, that's not German. No, that's French. Oh no. I'm taking French for GCSE. This is not good. However, you know what else is not good? Like, really not good. You see, there's another alliance in the world. And that alliance contains a certain very powerful country. So it would really be bad if, you know, a ship of some military troops went to Cyprus, stopped off here, and then went to the north to go and defend this country because they're scared people will invade it. So they went from the capital of Cyprus all the way over here, and then accidentally landed in this country. And you know, that's not too bad, you know. These people could have just said, red team, get out my country, this is my country, not the blue one, could you please get out? However, it would be really bad if instead of doing that, these guys decided to open fire on the red team troops. And then the red team took this as a sign of war and aggression, and then declared war on this country, which then prompted the purple team to declare war on the red team and their alliance with the blue country, and everyone else in the purple team alliance to also join that war, including this random country here, and even this lightish dark blue country. A light dark blue. Wow. Yeah, that would be pretty bad, but at least that didn't happen, did it, guys? Anyway, so the red team has joined this war, if you didn't get it by what I was saying. And this is not good for these people. So yeah, the red team's in the war, and they're going to start making some invasions. Yeah, they're going to send some troops into this eastern area, and in this weird coloured country, and also into the eastern area of this dark blue country. However, it is pretty tough fighting. These lands are relatively well maintained. Good economy here, and the reason for that is because the red team used to own this stuff, and the red team made sure it was rich stuff. So, yeah, the red team's not enjoying fighting their old selves. However, they do manage to take more cities. They capture this one in the north of the dark blue country, and then spider out further into here. The light blue country has a relatively easy job at taking the rural stuff. Yeah, that's normally pretty easy. However, the blue team's capital is very far away, so they're going to have some difficulty getting there. However, the red team and the blue team managed to close off this area, encircle the city, siege it, and capture that. So that's pretty good. They're going to leave this bit for a while, whilst they turn their attentions to the weird coloured country and take one of their major cities. And now the Cypriots, are a very well trained military force, make massive invasion into here, and it's not looking good for these guys at all. More troops are being sent into... Oh. What did I do? Oh. What did I do? I think I saved it. Alright. More troops being sent into this area of the dark blue country, and they fund stuff over here. Because the Italians, they just managed to capture this city, and they were getting really close to taking down Libya entirely, and collapsing the entire nation. So, they're kind of annoyed about that, because it was looking good for Italy. However, now the red team's here, and they're about to absolutely annihilate a few people. So that's not good. However, the red team is relatively stretched thin. There's a lot of nations out here who turn their forces towards attacking the red team. The purple team's military, you've got Istanbul, the two Turkish nations, the northern Greeks, all that stuff. So they're getting pummeled a lot, and the Italians are going to send out a call to we can still win this war. The red team's military is stretched very thin, and if you were somewhere that wasn't on the western coast, good time to just try and grab up some random red team land. And this is going to cause two nations to join this war against the red team, and on the side of the Italians, those nations being this coloured one down, this greyish one down here, and this reddy brown one up over here. So these two join, and they see some pretty huge success in attacking the red team. So they relatively quickly manage to just take a lot of stuff, because it is very rural over here. It's just a lot of desert. However, desert is land, and the red team does not want to lose all of this land, so they are pretty scared, which means they have to divert some of their forces to defending these areas in the reddish-brown country they really didn't expect, because they're not that militarized. However, they managed to capture F Lake, this major city in the north. Oh no, not the entire red team. However, there are a reasonable amount of major cities in this bit, so it might be pretty tricky for these guys. But they're making some slow gains against the red team. This is not good for the red team. It's like the only reason this small Turkish nation down here is even alive is because of all these other countries that have joined the war. Oh my god, I'm not doing well at this. However, some regions within the blue team managed to get liberated down here in the south, so that's pretty nice. Including this major city, where the people managed to overthrow the purple team occupiers. So it's not looking great, but at the moment it's kind of even. The red team really just needs to pull it together, and they should be doing fine. The Moroccan country is going to kind of move in and occupy this stuff, because these guys aren't really in the position to do that. So Morocco's like, hey, you want to join? But they're all pretty nationalistic after what they've gone through. It's like, right, let's destroy the Italians. Go away, Morocco, shut up for a sec. Pardon Morocco. Anyway, the blue country has kind of just been told, go kill the dark blue country, and they want to do that because they're a rebellion. So they take this major city, and they're getting pretty close to removing lots of the country. So they get this area, however, they get this bit, but people go from the capital and take this away, so they only get this bit in the end. But they're getting closer, steadily getting closer. And this means that there's even rebellions within the occupied yellow team territory, as troops have to be pulled out of that area in which they were occupying loads of stuff to go fight against the red team and the light blue country. So, yeah, that's pretty good. And the yellow team might be able to destabilize some purple team power in the region. And we're going to have another unlikely country during the war, and this time it will be against the purple team. And the purple team really wasn't expecting this. So they don't have this area protected very much, as this weird dark grey, weird coloured country moves in towards the purple team, and in a surprise attack manages to capture this major city. So they themselves have now split the purple team. However, it's not that easy, as they get repelled really quickly. And now the purple team is making advancements into their country. So that's not good, but they're providing a pretty good distraction, as these guys are kind of in Austria, I think, and there's a lot of mountains in Austria, so, it's going alright, but they're kind of being a bit sacrificial here, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. The blue country manages to liberate a lot more of these provinces, and now the purple team has been pushed out. I can't be bothered to colour those all back in. I can be, but I don't want to. And the purple team finally managed to capture the capital of Libya. So this entire area capitulates to the purple team, not all of Africa. So that's pretty scary, as they make their way towards the capital of the Egyptian dark blue country. So that's not good. I managed to capture this city too, so it's still not really looking in the favour of the North African Red Team Alliance group. We'll see how it goes from here, as finally they managed to capture this dark blue country, and so the Turkish one managed to push back this guy a bit, but they still have to deal with people in the south, as all those guys in the Arabian Peninsula are still taking more land. These guys. And surprisingly, they're actually being pretty successful down here, as they managed to split up this part of the country, separate this. This city is just gonna join the orange team. The orange team are just all praying, then some random guys come in and they're like, hey, do you want this small province with a major city in it? And they're like, is it a holy city? Like, yeah, it's very holy. Like, get in the country now. So they're pretty pleased about that. But the red team is kind of going to divert some attention to this, although the dark blue country kind of needs some attention and some troops. But the yellow team is not doing anything. However, Ethiopia, they're sending some stuff up, and that means they managed to bolster this bit, as the Italians are trying to advance to this major city, but they're not quite there yet, so that's good. And now one of the biggest battles of this entire war, which is the Battle of Constantinople, in which after a few years, not years, probably like a month or so, the red team managed to win the battle and they captured Constantinople. This is not good if you're in the Constantinople country. So these guys are pushed back a lot. And they've just lost their capital. Losing your capital is not good. And it even means that, oh no, I see what I've done wrong. I see what I've done wrong. Ooh. Give me 1 minute. Fortunately, I don't think I've done it that hugely wrong. But this is the defended colour territory. I was doing all the captured territory in the same colour, which didn't really confuse me because I'm doing this, but it might have confused you. So sorry about that, viewer. Yeah. Allied captured territory is this colour. Anyway, so there you go. So there's even yellow team troops who are making it over the border into the Constantinople country, as a few of these provinces actually get liberated because it was Istanbul, Constantinople troops who were defending these areas and making sure that make sure the people couldn't do what they wanted to do. I've done it on a flip. Although one of these provinces, the one with the major city, is recaptured by the red team, Greek one. But, these guys are making advancements into this country. They managed to capture this major city and get into Bulgaria now. So they even captured this Bulgarian city. And the yellow team are actually being useful for once. The blue team are going to make a naval thing. I don't know. They're going to make a naval attack on this southern region. The red team managed to link up all of these regions. They send in troops to protect the yellow team militias. And this entire area is collapsed. And then this Cretan country is going to join the war as well. So they just want these islands. They're like, hey red team, can we have these islands if we win the war? And the red team's like, sure, I don't care. It's an island. You have these random islands then, sure. The next country joining the war, yeah, sorry if this episode's a bit long, might be a bit unexpected for you guys, but it will be the southern Greek country. I'll be like, well, the two Greek countries, they have really good relations, and that is exactly why they're joining the war. Because, you can see, there's red team troops on the border of the red team now. And they're beginning to start invasions and stuff. And what these guys are asking is, you join the war, you tell the red team, oh don't worry, we'll handle the northern one, and we'll just let you have all our stuff. Because you don't want to be annexed by a hungry empire like the red team, you want to be annexed by fellow Greeks. So, yeah, these guys just capitulate over to the southern Greek country, and now the Balkans are basically under the possession of the southern Balkans are under the possession of the North African team, which is a weird sentence to say. Italy's managed to capture this country up here. However, it's not looking entirely good for the Italians, as Libya is starting to get liberated. Liberate Libya. So we see a lot of these provinces fall away. The capital province is lost. This is lost. And finally, the Italians are pushed out of all of North Africa. Let's just quickly make this look slightly better, so I remember what the borders look like. It was something like this. Oh yeah. It was this. I feel like this is kind of province accurate in a way as well. There's not really big swathes of land in the south. Oh, I think that. Yeah. No shot. Yeah, I put the dark blue country in Libya. That's annoying. Anyway, yeah, we've got that. I don't think I've done it slightly wrong, and if I have, it was a land exchange after the war. So you gotta note that down. More provinces and areas in the yellow team are getting liberated, like all of these areas, all this stuff, and people are now finally making their way into the light dark blue country. It's going to receive some aid from Crimea, however Crimea is kind of neutral on this. They're probably more Italy leaning, but the moment they're seeing this area is now getting entirely controlled by the North African country, which is the opposite side to the purple country. So they're not going to join the war, probably, unless the purple country starts winning. However, yeah, some advancements are made here. And the yellow team country starts to get their land back. Not all of it, though. Just a little bit. I can't do this anymore. Why no? No, I'm just stupid. I'm actually just stupid. That's another reason why I can't do this anymore. I'm just kind of stupid. The Italians have managed to keep control of like a third-ish, I think, of the yellow country. However, how long will that stay for? As the Italians have lost an awful lot of ground within this area, so it's not looking great. Another reason for Crimea not joining this war is the fact that the dark brown country has also joined this war in the aim of getting this land back. So they move into this sort of Georgia area, head down the south, they liberate this province, and they cause this province to get liberated too, as the troops have to leave it to defend the capital and stuff. However, the brown team is still a relatively strong country. I think they're top 15, at least. So they move into this area, and move towards the major cities. They take the capital, they take this major city, take this. The red team's going to come up from the south, and the brownish red country has capitulated over to the North African team. The light blue country is, after losing some more of its provinces and stuff, just going to opt out of the war. They're going to agree to peace. So we'll sort that out later, as we don't entirely know what's going to happen in the war. But the purple team's kind of like, dude, that is not cool. But now Minorca, they've been captured, and even the rebels within the purple team have actually started, and within Catalonia, actually started to turn it against the purple team. After, some encouragement from the North Africans. And now the blue team is trying to make a landing in Sicily, in which finally they manage it, and they're back in Sicily after like episode 5 or something, I want to say. But that's not it for landings in Italy, as another is made by a combination of the Greeks, Cretes, and Iraqis. Yeah, that rhymed for a bit, but not for that long. The yellow team is going to liberate more provinces, and they even managed to capture the Italian exclave, until finally all of these provinces are liberated. All the yellow team ones. They managed to capture this major city, and move down towards this one. However, the Italians, the nationalism is just so high here, that they're not going to give up. Never. They lose ground within the Austrian country, and they only control a province more of that. All of Sicily goes over to the blue country, and so does Sardinia. Catalonia's freed. And now Italy, I think they're actually just alone in this. There's no one else out there to help you, Italy. This is not good. So, yeah, we're going to move ahead slightly. So, the blue team manages to take down Corsica. The red team, who is now in Italy, are just going to purge, blitz through some Italian stuff. There's also some red team troops in the Balkans. Quite a lot, actually. And they make their way into this Italian stuff. As well as, like, all the other troops, including people from the brown team country, who were kind of really just there to fight the breakaway they had happen during the plague. Well, they've decided to just also join in the war. The blue team manages to capture these two major cities. They go around here. And finally, a few more provinces are actually going to join up with the pink country, who, you know, they were kind of in this war at one point, and they were funding the Italians a lot. They were sending a load of money, because they're pretty good friends. However, they didn't support this war very much. So, yeah, it's a mix. But, yeah, they're going to try and do a bit to save Italy. It's not entirely working though. This province is liberated within Austria, and now the yellow team has returned to those major cities that they used to own before. The yellow team and the blue team managed to connect up in northern Italy, and they capture all of this until finally, Italy's divided here. They get divided again, and it's just this bit. The red team siege the capital. They take it, and that's the end of the war. So yeah, let's look at this peace treaty. This is going to be one hell of a peace treaty. You might just want to skip. I'm not even joking, this might take quite a long time. So you might just want to skip. The blue team are going to get Sicily and Sardinia. So the blue team empire is kind of back. But they've never had Sardinia before. They're pretty ecstatic about that development. Of course, they get all their old provinces back, but I forgot to show that they had again. And yeah, if you didn't already realise, this is not a win for the Italian country, and that means that the red team and the Algerian country, North Africa, all that stuff, they've managed to win this war. Well, there's still one country left. Who were these guys? Even after the purple team surrendered, these guys kept on fighting, but that didn't really go how they wanted it to, because then the red team kind of went, hey, hello, took a load of provinces, attacked this place, and forced them to capitulate really quickly. So we'll look at what happens to those guys as well, because the red team will be annexing an awful lot today. A lot. So they get all their desert back. The orange team is not going to return that holy city they took, because of course not. It's a holy city, they love those. Yep, there's the red team. We're going to have the division of this random country out here, between these two powers. So the red team will be annexing all of this. I feel kind of bad. I think I've destroyed a lot of countries. I need to stop feeling bad when things happen. It's like we had the plague and we got a load of new countries, and then I felt bad because I hurt a load of countries. And then I feel bad here. What? Stop. Stop feeling bad. However, in fact, I'm gonna find some good in these people. As they do a little border rework over here. And we're gonna keep this random tiny country around. So will the red team and the brown team annex most of their stuff, they are still going to exist because I feel kind of bad. And so do they, don't worry. It's not just me feeling bad, it's them. They feel bad. Not sure that was their colour, but they got a political rework as well. So, tell you what, it's all new now. As for Greece, that's pretty easy to do. Huge Greek empire now. Probably not an empire, but the old Greek state. I like this. I like Greece. Yeah. Greece is strong. Very strong. Now the red team and the blue team will be dividing up these two countries between each other. So, that's all stuff. And the red team would really like to have Constantinople. Although it used to be the capital of the yellow country, and the yellow country is kind of like, hey, can we have that city? The red team's like, nah. Nope. You do not get that city. My city. You know, the red team's taken Constantinople, I think, quite a few times across history. It's just like, really? We've occupied it for about as long as you've owned it. So, yeah, they're just gonna take that. They're not really caring what the yellow team thinks. The yellow team are gonna get a coastline again. They still look a bit Hungarian Empire-y. And that's alright. So, yeah, the red team will be annexing a load of these northern provinces. By a load, I mean a load. All of this goes over this new red team empire. However, the blue team, don't worry, they still get stuff. But they do give over one thing, and that is an island to the Cretan team. They're like, we want islands. And the blue team was like, fine. Take over every island. Yeah, I think the blue team's now the strongest they've ever been in their entire history. So that's good. I mean, they're definitely more north once upon a time. But they've gone a long way east. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is going to take a while. Nearly finished it though, I think. The red team looks a bit like modern day Turkey, but if Turkey was the Ottoman Empire. They've got Thrace again. That's the main bit that's scary. And we're also going to give the yellow team a border on the Aegean Sea. So they are back to their former glory-ish. Not quite. No, they used to have the entire Balkans. But these guys quite like the idea of making some new Italian countries in the world. Because they're like, well, we can't just give it all to one person, because then they'll become like Italy. And we don't want another country like Italy. So they decided not to give it to the yellow team. Also, nobody likes the yellow team, because they're not nice people there. This is pretty just yellow team slander. But I've told you now. It's just facts. There's not nice people there. You know, they're just not nice people. Probably yellow team. Anyway, who cares? The view. The purple team will be surviving out here in the south. Don't worry about that random white dot in the ocean. It's fine. However, they are a lot weaker than they were before. They have this tiny amount of stuff. I might have to fix those borders now, so they're not good. That's not good. The Salmon country is kind of annoyed they didn't join this war, although everyone who did join this war lost a lot of people. Populations have really decreased significantly because of this war, so yeah, people are scared. There's not many people left in some of these countries. Like, Crete ended up sending a lot more people than they really wanted to. I was like, I just come along for the ride, Crete. It's fine, don't worry about it. It'll be great fun. So, this dark grey country will get some stuff. Going to be making the pink country get a little bit of stuff. In return, they hand over a province because people are kind of like, hey, you guys are bad. You funded the purple country. I saw some of your troops in like Catalonia, and this means that a few countries demand some stuff from these guys. Those countries being Catalonia. So Catalonia takes this major city. Actually, no, they're just going to take some land. Actually, no, I think I might change my mind. They take the major city. And also, quite surprisingly, the Breton country will be annexing their northern stuff up here. Man, you know, it's kind of like right at the end of the war. I completely forgot to mention, yeah, the Breton country declared war on the pink country and took that stuff. However, they weren't entirely there. You know, the pink country is kind of fine with this. It's a bit like me. we have a load of western coast, sort of eastern coast, and Black Sea. So you know they're all right, but Brittany's now a very intimidating country. So you don't want to cross paths with them in a dark night. I think this is how. Yeah, these guys look. Yeah, that looks alright. I might change that Breton border up there. In fact, I might just completely change my mind in what I'm going to do with Brittany. Yeah, I'll think about that at the end of the episode. Corsica. Independent Corsica. Nice. As for this area up here, to make a few new countries, we get one right around here. So there's a central Italian state, is made just in the middle there. There's a northern Italian country, and another northern Italian country. So there you go. We have imaginations running wild here. 2 northern Italian countries. That's great. I was just gonna fix these borders slightly. Does that look any better? I think not. Not really, it looks too much like a face for me. It's like a bird's beak. I might just fix a load of stuff at the end of this episode, because I do need to finish the episode because it's nearly an hour long. Right, I need to get on with this. Oh god. Oh god, I'm really sorry for making this video so long. Uh-oh. Yeah, you remember the colours of these guys. Basically, I'm going to do the ones with the colours that I remember when I chose for these guys. But, because this one's relatively easy to find the colour. Yeah, you remember that rebellion that happened in Catalonia? Well, now it is... I should have just not done the other stuff. I thought the war wouldn't take that long. Uh-oh. I know there's much wrong with it being an hour long, but viewer interest. And we'll fix Crete Islands, don't worry. So there you go. Just imagine, boom, boom. They're basically this colour. And boom. This is effectively what the world looks like at the moment. Yeah, so, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't worry about Eritrea. I'll fix all this at the end of the episode. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you again next time. That took an awfully long time. Like and subscribe.